Greetings, sunshines and sunnies. It is I, Queen J Lotus, Pimp Sunkiss, coming at y'all right quick, right fast with a. I don't know who needs to hear this, but so I'm gonna try to make this a like kind of new installment or whatever, where I just come on and intuitively and philosophically, psychologically, if you will, sociology, you know what I'm trying to say. Using elements of sociology as well. And just talk about some things that I have been learning both from studies and also from observation in the midst of socialization, okay? So, what I'm here to talk about today is concerning jealousy and envy. Because lately, I've been noticing, and I even like had to realize in myself, one, some differences between jealousy and envy, and also that jealousy is more common and more natural of an emotion than it is given credit for. A lot of the times when people use the term jealousy, they're using it to demonize or villainize. And someone. Also, when people start to classify others as ops, villains, haters, they add the characteristic or prioritize first the characteristic of jealousy. But in actuality, those people would more than likely be envious, okay? Just keep up with me, right? And this is because of the differences between jealousy and envy. So, jealousy and inspiration basically have the same sensation. It's the same feeling, but it's a different response to that feeling. Jealousy is a negative response to the sensation. Okay? So, what could be inspiration turns into jealousy if you lack the capacity or the will or the insight to be inspired. So, for example, you and another person are both waitresses and you made more tips than them that day. So they could be inspired and be like, dang, I see what you did there. Put me on game. Let me know how I can do what you do in my own way. And y'all team up, y'all exchange ideas, and now both of y'all booming with the tips, right? But now it's also very easy for someone to have a negative response to that feeling, specifically if they don't recognize what they already have. And the thing is, you could have only made $5 more than them. And they just, in their insecurities, in their, instability within themselves, their lack of self-awareness type shit. And they not realizing that they still did good, And so if they did that good, and they seeing you, do a little better. And instead of them thinking, oh, if they can do it, I can do it. They think, damn, they did it. So that's a slight on me. It's something I'm not doing. It's something I'm not able to do. And that can definitely come from upbringing. It can come with having been in toxic relationships or other toxic friendships where people are just not, as uplifting. You may have been around a whole lot of hypercritical people that just talk about your flaws and your shortcomings and make it easy for you to lose sight of the good things that you have and what you're capable of type shit. Jealousy is something that can be worked through. Jealousy is something that can be transmuted into inspiration without it being a whole lot of hoopla. There just has to be willingness there. Okay, being jealous doesn't keep you from getting to inspiration. It just means that there's an extra hurdle to jump before you can get to that place. There's some sort of insecurity that has to be addressed in order for you to get to that place. So, as it concerns like relationships, which usually that's how jealousy comes up. And when I say relationships, I mean romantic relationships, family relationships, friendships, work relationships, all that. That's what I mean. The whole spectrum of relationships, okay? When it comes to relationships, whoever you end up experiencing jealousy as a result of, you have to be willing to address it within yourself and maybe even address it to them. Like, if addressing it within yourself is not enough for you to really unpack what's going on and to, get the help that you need, then you may need to address it to the person that you are jealous of and or to someone else type shit. So that could be like a therapist, a mentor, somebody that's older than you, somebody else that you trust type shit. But it has to be somebody also that is evolved in their thinking. It has to be somebody that is emotionally intelligent, because you may be timid or feel some sort of insecurity surrounding addressing it, of course, because it's already coming from a place of insecurity, but also because of the way that people have been taught to think about jealousy and villainize jealousy. You may feel like if I say something to that person, they gonna attack me, or if I voice it at all to anybody, that they gonna automatically demonize you because you said that you jealous type shit. So that's why I emphasize, whoever you address that to, express that to, it has to be somebody that is evolved in thinking and emotionally mature. Because an emotionally mature person, mentally evolved person, will be more uplifting to you, will point out the good things that you may be struggling to see within yourself. They'll be like, girl, like, come on, I understand, like, but you got this that's going good for you. You got the potential to do this. You talented in this. You beautiful. You smart. You intelligent. Da 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 da. Like, what, you jealous of that person and y'all got this in common. Y'all can do the same thing. Like, I know them. You want to link up and just, you know what I'm saying, exchange ideas and this, that, and the third. And they will help you jump that insecurity hurdle and get you into a place of inspiration that'll help you get into a place of motivation. And now, hey, let's say you on the other side of that. One of your friends is jealous of you, or your partner is jealous of you, experiencing some type of jealousy of you. You know what I'm saying? If you care about that person enough, you have to be, one, trusting in yourself, and also brave, okay? As well as, like I said, emotionally mature and mentally evolved enough to, if you notice it and they've yet to address it, you may be the one to have to step to them like, hey, you good? Because I noticed you had this like underwhelming reaction to some good news that I gave you. Like, I ain't trying to be weird or funny or nothing, but like, what's going on? Why you react like that type shit? And see how they respond. And now, this is the ultimate test. You know what I'm saying? This type shit will test the relationship, regardless of what type it is. It will test it. It will test you, and it will test the other person. Okay? So it's like, if you care about them enough, you'll stay in the game and just try to help them navigate through it. Now, I know that may sound crazy, like, why would I be trying to help somebody that's jealous of me? But you have to remember, jealousy is not to be demonized. Just because a person is experiencing jealousy, it doesn't make them a villain. It doesn't make them an op. They're just having a hard time being inspired. They're having an insecure moment within themselves, and it's really not even about you. You are just the trigger. The thing is too, if this person is simply jealous of you, then you opening that door will give them the space to just be like, man, I'm not trying to shit on you or nothing. I'm just feeling like this here about where I'm at. I'm not really where I want to be, and I'm not really seeing the greatness in me right now in my life. And just hearing that, like, I'm happy for you, but it's a little difficult for me to show it because of how I'm feeling about myself right now. I'm not really feeling myself. And with that person could also like be feeling that way because not only are they not feeling themselves right now and they're not really where they want to be, but also you progressing will make them feel like, and it's not, your responsibility, but I'm just saying what is triggering. It could be triggering them to fear abandonment, fear being left behind, fear being forgotten. You know what I'm saying? So them getting to a space of being able to express that gives you the opportunity to reassure them of your placement and your intent in their life. Like, man, I ain't gonna leave you behind. Like, what you need? You know what I'm saying? Whatever you need, I can help you get it. If I got it, I can give it to you. I put you on game. You know what I'm saying? I put you in connect with this person over here. You want me to help you with your resume? Like, what you need, what you want. You giving them that opportunity to find that will within themselves to pull themselves up. And also, you're helping pull them up to where you are, even if it's just in spirit. And sooner or later, they'll be able to materialize that. And being able to get through that will strengthen y'all's bond. Now, the thing is, if the responses are different, meaning some of those fears come into reality, meaning you address them about potential jealousy, and their response is, you always think somebody jealous of you. You always think somebody hating on you. Don't nobody want to be you. That may not just be jealousy, okay? And or if a person experiences what seems to be jealousy and their response is to immediately attack you or try to take what you got, do the most to try to bring you down with them, that is not just jealousy. That's not jealousy. That is envy. And envy is where it gets hateful, where it gets evil. Envy is where the villainization and the demonization rightfully comes in. Because in fact, envy is a projection of self-hate from a decision that one is making within themselves to commit to stunting their own growth and therefore stunting others, attacking others, okay? Because they're already stunting and attacking themselves by not being willing to do any better, by not trying to gain the capacity to love on themselves more. And that's the thing about it too. Like, the reason why, well, a main reason why jealousy can be worked through when it comes to the individual and when it comes to relationships is because you can love someone and experience jealousy of them at the same time. But you can't love someone and be envious at the same time. Because one, love, while it is a feeling, the duality of it is that it is also an action. And you can't love someone else if you don't love yourself. And that can be as a feeling and an action, okay? And that's what makes love so tricky, the duality of it. You can feel it and not know how to show it or not be willing to show it type shit because you might be scared or whatever. But again, that's what makes it so tricky. I don't want to veer too far off. So we'll save the further explanation of that perhaps for another video. But all that to say, if a person does not love themselves, meaning they don't feel the love for themselves and they're not actively loving themselves, they cannot see or give that to you. They can't feel that for you. And so when they are presented things such as you being confident in yourself, you working harder and smarter to get what you want and accomplish your goals, people like you and you like yourself. You maintain your sense of youth, your sense of beauty inside and out, your sense of power, your essence of power, as well as, you may also have like the materialism of power. You may be in a position of power, okay? Because people who don't love themselves, there's no way that they can like themselves. They don't think they're beautiful. They don't maintain a sense of youth because likely the habits that they have drag them down and age them further, okay, physically and energetically. And they don't feel powerful because if they did, they would be feeling something and doing something differently, right? Especially when they're presented with more elevated beings. So, to get into why I use the particular images that I have here, focusing specifically on the image of the Disney villains that I have here. Specifically, villains like Scar, Mother Gothel, and or the Evil Queen, Lady Tremaine, which is also the stepmother from Cinderella, Ursula, okay? Villains like them, a lot of the time, described as being jealous of the protagonists of their stories, when in actuality, they are envious. They think less of themselves, okay? And like when you get to the Evil Queen and Lady Tremaine specifically, they have positions of power. They have things going for them. They are not physically ugly, but the things that they do and the way that they clearly think and feel about themselves is what makes them less than attractive, and is also what motivates them to being hurt people who hurt people. And instead of working out whatever it is within themselves that's blocking them, was keeping themselves in their own way, they project that onto the protagonist and go about trying to take what they have. So the evil stepmother, she takes Cinderella's freedom. She takes her sense of confidence. She takes her time away from herself. Ursula takes Ariel's voice. At least tries to take her man. Scar wants to take over the kingdom. And child, the Evil Queen / if you go along with the theories of it all, Mother Gothel wants to take the youth. All Out wants to take not only freedom from their oppositions, in their mind, their oppositions, the protagonists. So that would be Rapunzel and Snow White. But they also want to take their whole lives, okay? One way or another, want to take their life. And that's, ultimately how youth can also be seen as well. Liveliness, a sense of liveliness, flexibility, free-spiritedness, and things. And envy is also obsessive, as opposed to with jealousy, there's more of a retreat that happens from the person that is experiencing jealousy. They retreat one way or another because they're trying to protect whatever they fear being taken. Okay? But with envy, it's outwardly obsessive and they pursue what they are envious of or who they are envious of relentlessly. And this is also why these are the types of people that you really have to be careful about, because they will usually use sociopathic tendencies one way or another, meaning they'll use the beauty that they have, they'll use the power that they have. Okay? And it's usually something superficial, materialistic type of power, or, whatever influence that they recognize. So like Scar, he weaponizes Simba's youth against him, his naivete against him, and also the fact that he is his uncle. So that blood relative influence to make Simba feel like his word is credible, and also make Simba feel like it's coming from a place that he cares about him. Much like Ursula presents herself using her magical powers, okay, and the influence of that, while making it seem like it's an even trade-off. It's a mutual trade-off that they have, that she's trying to help Ariel. These people will shapeshift. They will perform the elements of likability, beauty, youth, power. They will perform those things, even though deep down they really don't feel like they have it, okay? But they know what it looks like. So they will perform it. Much like Mother Gothel shapeshifts. And or they may use other people to carry out their biddings. Like Lady Tremaine uses her daughters and the influence that she has over them to influence them to basically think and feel like she does, so that they can also carry out attacks on Cinderella, which that can be seen as another form of shape-shifting, especially if there are elements where she portrays herself to be a neutral being in the matter. So she gonna act like she neutral. Oh, I didn't see what happened. Oh, all of y'all are doing this, but it must have been you, because you seem to always be a problem. You seem to always be the common denominator. When in actuality, she done sicked them on to Cinderella. She done put the batteries in their back to attack Cinderella. And of course, there are moments where she obviously teams up with them to attack Cinderella. But, the gaslighting and the manipulativeness of it all, the shape shifting of it all, causes confusion so that you can stay on a loop. And that's another thing about people who are envious. They tend to be agents of chaos. So they may not cause obvious chaos all the time, a bunch of loud, rambunctious fighting and things of that nature. They may do things passive aggressively, as you will. Like I said, present themselves as someone who is trustworthy, or as if they like you and they like to be around you and they want to invite you to things. But then they make little shady, passive aggressive digs and insults at you. And then they say, ha ha ha, I was just kidding. They say how they really feel about you and what they really intend for you, but they say it in a joking manner. Or they say, oh, you're so mean. You need to work on this. You need to work on that. Or this would be good if you just did that. Like they're trying to help you, when really they're picking you apart, and they're also causing confusion within you because they're making you question yourself. And also, if your intuition is trying to come through and be like, this person really may not like me, but the gaslighting that they're doing is also battling with your intuition and causing more confusion. So it puts you in a state of being like, I gotta prove myself to this person. Especially if you already have some sort of validation wound, your response may be, damn, I gotta prove myself to this person, or I gotta figure out what they mean. I gotta figure out what they're talking about. But see, the thing is, as soon as you start to get some form of clarity about the situation, they're going to move the goalposts. And not only is that going to cause more confusion, but it's going to wear you out. And the goal is to essentially trade places with you energetically, and or, because this can be at the same time here, make you feel how they feel about themselves. They want to get you to a place where you feel defeated and defenseless, and like there's no point for you to keep trying. And right when they have you where they want you, that is when they take a bite out of you. That is where they go for the killer blow. Okay? And this could be to totally kill your self-esteem, to harm you beyond repair, or to literally off you, to literally take you up out of this world. This is why, one, you have to be clear about the differences between jealousy and envy, and why when it comes to people who act like they like you and act like they want to be around you and this, that, and the third, or cause confusion, like they be mean to you and they say little slick shit and do little slick shit, throw rocks, hide their hand, and put you in a state of confusion, constantly put you in a state of uncertainty, you need quickly remove yourself from those people, because they are likely envious and they will seriously harm you. Like if a person is constantly giving you weird energy or like mean energy type shit, and you just can't figure out why, don't even worry about why. Because that's a whole part of the chicory dickory dock of it all. They want to keep you in that loop. They want to keep you distracted. They want to keep you on a yo-yo. They want to make you obsess over them the way they are actually obsessed over you. And they want to make you hate yourself and question yourself the way that they hate and question themselves, so that they can get you where they want you and attack you. Now, there's a different side of this, like a different way that envy shows up in people. And it usually shows up in like what many would perceive as one-sided friendships or one-sided relationships. But I'm going to save that for another video. And that particular video and commentary will bring some elaboration and clarity as to why I also have these pictures from girlfriends appear in this video as well. So be sure to stay tuned, keep your head on swivel for part 2 of this video, and you'll see why I also have Tony and Maya and Joan and Tony, their pictures in this video. Just hold that thought, honey. Just hold that thought. But with all that being said, child, if I do say so myself, honey, I have milked this cow dry. And I'm thoroughly appreciative for the exchange of vibes. And if you're feeling synchronized, please do me a divine design and like, share, and subscribe, so that you could be one of the first to be back through these queenly quarters for the next time. And so that you could be one of the first to be back through these queenly quarters for part 2 of this video. And be sure to bless my comment section with your questions and conversations. And as always, I bid you all light, love, healing, and liberation. Emphasis on liberation. Mwah.